guys, just hanging out with Shane from Medford Knife and Tools. He's walking us through how they inspect their knives. We're excited. We're going to bring some of their stuff in, and we're just stoked. So check it out.
So one of the first things we do after we make the knife is we'll have the customer card. It has pretty much their invoice information on what they ordered. So we'll verify, okay, they wanted tumble blued sides, they wanted a graphic blasted on it, they wanted a D2 Vulcan finish blade, and then we verify that the order's correct. That's the first step of the inspection process. The next thing we check, just fastest for me, is I look at the top of the knife. I want to make sure that the tip is centered, so I'll check it from the front. I'll also flip it over and check it from the back, ensuring it's centered. I inspect the stop pin, make sure the stop pin's centered too, that it's not off. Go around the back, make sure the spacers are not only in but correct. If they purchased a titanium hardware upgrade, we want to make sure that it was titanium. And then if they wanted a polished spine on the breaker, or if it needed to be oxide breaker or anything like that, that everything's correct there. So now I'll go to the actual mechanics of the knife, the function of the knife. I pull it open just a little bit to break the detent, and I'll check the detent strength. We don't want it so strong that someone can't open it with one finger, but we also want it strong enough that if you really try and shake it, it's not going to fly open. So the last thing you want is this massive blade opening into your pockets. And it'll be like a firearm going off. So I'll check the detent, and then I pull it out just past the detent. I'll put my thumb right on the pivot, and then I force the blade back and forth. And I put a lot of tension into it. And you're checking for lash at this point. You don't want any play. I'll bring it out 50% of the way, and then I'll check for side. And then I go all the way to where the detent falls off, but the lock doesn't engage. If you go until the lock engages, it can lie to you. So you go just off of full open, and then I check for lash there. No lash, I'll check the swing. You want to make sure it's smooth and consistent. You don't want progression where it gets tighter as it opens, or it's tight in the beginning and then it gets loose and kind of flops at the end. It needs to be a nice smooth progression. If that's passed, now I check the lock. I want to feel and make sure that it has resistance. So not just that it engages, but that it actively wants to be there. Our goal is to be somewhere between 75% to 100% of getting to the other side. So as the titanium breaks in and as everything breaks in, it's not just going to run out of space at the 50% mark and have issues. So I want it to actively fight back. I'll do a soft open and make sure that it unlocks without a lot of pressure. I'll do a hard open and I'll make sure that I can unlock it without a lot of pressure. You don't want it too sticky. Sometimes they're sticky in the beginning and they'll break in, and then after a while they won't stick at all, but we want to make sure it's not becoming a fixed blade.
Yep.
And then I'll check for breaking. Soft lock.
Is it breaking?
Breaking, where it could collapse on your hands.
Okay.
And cut your fingers. I'll grab the knife like this, I'll brace my thumb here, and I will try and physically bend the blade back in.
Right on.
And you're checking to see if this slips.
Move over.
So it doesn't. I'll do another soft lock again, so I'm not cheating it. I'll grab it back here by the clip, and just a couple times, I'll tap it right on the bone and see if I can get to pop back in. If it doesn't pop back in, as long as you're not doing anything ridiculous with it, this isn't going to close on your hand or anything like that.
Very cool, man.
And
So it's four steps, basically.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.